You know who you can't run away from? Yourself. That little voice in your head when you do something wrong. You think you're going to be able to run away from it. And you probably can for a little bit before your conscience starts waking you up at night. And she completely, in this email, destroyed her boyfriend's PlayStation. And she's wondering now if she has to come clean because he has no idea why it's not working.
I really need some advice on a situation that I'm not proud of, but I'm not sure how or if I should fix it. My boyfriend, let's call him Mark, is a massive gamer, and he was head over heels in love with his PlayStation.
I'm in love with the PlayStation.
It was getting to the point where it seemed like it was the center of his life, taking up all of his attention and leaving me feeling neglected.
Imagine feeling number two to an electronic.
It would make you feel like number two.
Yeah.
Mark always defended his gaming habits, said it was his way of releasing stress.
There are some people, I don't know this world, that come home and they will play video games for 6, 7, 8 hours at a time, right? I mean, Cassie, you
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It used to be me before I had children, and then I haven't played one in years.
These kids.
But I have one on deck for this weekend. I am so excited.
Are you?
Another kid?
No. No. Children are a blessing. No.
What amount of hours were you playing? Were you gaming before you had kids?
Gosh, it was mainly... It depended. It depended on the release of a game. Like if it was a good game like Last of Us, which is a TV show now, I could easily, if I sat down to game, my stretches would be no less than 3 hours. So 3 to 7 hours. Sometimes I would sit down like after work, like this was years ago because my husband and I both like gaming. So he would watch while I played, loved it. We could sit down at 6 and all of a sudden it'd be 2 a.m. easily because time just flies when you're in it and you're in a quest, which sounds so nerdy to say, but you're so fixated on it. And it's like interactive entertainment. It's like a movie that you're part of.
I think it's great if you guys are doing it together. If you and Chad are doing it together and you're spending 3 hours, I consider that quality time.
Yeah,
3 hours of quality time every day doing something together with your husband or wife. I don't care what it is.
Oh, wait. You say, okay, so that was quality time.
Yeah.
But when I said I sat and watched TV with my husband, that was not quality time.
Right.
That makes zero sense.
Sure it does.
No, it does not.
Sure it does. Can you see the difference between you just mindlessly staring at a screen?
It's not mindless. If we both love a show and we're both into the arc of the show, like Succession, for example, right? We both love the show. We sit down, we watch it together, and then we discuss it together afterwards.
Okay, I'll give you a little bit there, but I don't think it's as connective as playing games together.
I think it qualifies, Kristen. I think it's important. I think the difference is, and it depends how you watch TV. Like with the gaming, we're constantly talking throughout it, and it doesn't detract from the storyline. Whereas if I'm watching TV and Chad talks, I'm like, shut up.
That is true. I
Shut
do
up
that.
and try to watch. I'm trying to watch the captions, okay?
I don't do that. I do one of these and pause it, and I'm like, what would you like to say to me? So I can start it again.
This is taking us in a different direction for just 1 second, but I was listening to a podcast from Jay. You know who Jay Shetty is?
Yes.
God, he's so good.
He is very good.
But he literally was speaking to Tiffany and I, and he's like, if your relationship is at the point now where your quality time is sitting there and watching Netflix together, and that's the time that you're spending together, it's not healthy time. Like you have to somehow, some way figure out ways to mix it up and do new things. Because if you get in the same routine over and over and over again, it could be really harmful to your relationship. So I just fast forwarded past that part.
You don't know my life.
I can appreciate that, except sometimes you're just really tired and you just want to watch TV.
Agreed.
Life is stressful.
Agreed, but we're tired every day and can watch Netflix every day.
All right, back to the PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A few months ago, while Mark was out, I told him that something fell on his PlayStation, causing it to break. The truth is, I broke it on purpose. I knew it was a terrible thing to do, but I was desperate to get his attention and save our relationship. Ever since then, our relationship has improved drastically. We've been spending more quality time together, and I can tell he's become more attentive and loving. Even though things are great and exactly what I wanted, I can't shake off the guilt of what I've done. Sometime, Mark brings up his PlayStation and how unfortunate it was that it broke. Keeps talking about saving for a new one. I feel terrible for what I did, Not terrible enough to buy him a new one, huh?
Not yet.
And for lying to him. I don't want to keep any secrets from him, but I'm afraid that if I confess the truth, he will be furious and pull us apart. Should I tell him the truth about what happened to his PlayStation? How do I even start that conversation? I know what I did was immature and that I should have talked to him about my feelings instead of resorting to sabotage.
Saboteur.
I'm trying to make it right in any way I can. I'm genuinely concerned about the potential fallout if I tell him the truth.
All right, Cassie, we've established you're the hardcore gamer here. So if the roles were reversed here, you were gaming all the time and your husband or boyfriend at the time, Chad, is just wants your attention and you won't give it to him and he thinks it's a real problem. He messes around with your PlayStation, destroys it, you don't know. Would you ever want him to confess?
No, don't confess. I think you learned from this mistake. You need to buy him a new one is what you need. Like, she needs to replace it, and that could be her gift, and she carries that guilt because then it becomes your whole argument for not being paid attention to becomes a moot point because at that point, you've just done something so drastic, it's controlling, right? And you may be very valid in the fact that he was playing PlayStation more and he wasn't paying attention to you. And that was proved because your relationship is better now. That doesn't excuse how you took control of the situation. And to me, that's crossing a line and crossing a boundary. And if you can't have those adult conversations, you need to sit down and look at yourself. Mm-hmm. So if I were her, I would buy him a new one. But before I gave it to him, I'd say, I'm really sorry that your PlayStation broke. Keep up the lie. I've really enjoyed, though, like connecting with you more, and I've felt more loved. I felt like the PlayStation was distracting you, but I also know how much you love it and how important it was to you, so I got you a new one, but I'd love for us to continue, like, having the focus. And here's the thing. You drew a boundary, and then if he doesn't stick to your boundary, it is your job to leave. It's not his job to change for you. If he's showing you over and over again who he is, it's not going to change. It may not be a PlayStation. It's going to be something else down the line that he fixates on. That's for him to fix. And if you draw that clear boundary and say what you want and he can't do it, then you have your answer.
I don't even know that I'd buy him the new PlayStation.
Really?
She said the relationship's so much better now. She's feeling intimate. They're having great communication with each other. As soon as he gets that PlayStation, it's going to be going right back to where it was before.
He's going to buy it, though. He's saving up for it.
Is he, though? Because maybe, maybe financially it's out of his reach.
I tell you.
That's the thing. We need to establish if it's really a PlayStation or if she's just saying that. Because if it's a PlayStation and not a PlayStation 5, that's like $20. And she should have been got new system already.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched? Well, you can get way more of The Bert Show on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your favorite podcast.